It's May 14th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it is time to get in the weeds. A wonderful Wednesday for everyone, even in this rainy, clouded over city of Toronto. Jeremy Lambert's here having a morning bite to eat on our morning show. Just so that
bagel. It's almost done now, but it's a bagel.
You're like my kid. Just wants to have a bagel.
It's a cream cheese bagel. That's all.
Whatever gets you moving.
Nothing fancy.
How you doing there, pal?
So I woke up this morning.
Did you ever?
Allegedly with just a massive headache. And it's still not great. But I'm here.
It's a start.
I might have a migraine. Maybe. I don't really get migraines, at least not that I know of. My head was killing me this morning.
Okay.
But I'm here.
I don't know why. I personally would have just, stayed in bed because mental health. This show doesn't mean anything.
Steve Maclin is going to be here. I'm going to eat a bagel with him.
Buddy, that's not even a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Actually, shout out to Steve Maclin. He's worth it. He's a handsome man.
He might be here. We'll see.
We will see. They have the link. I probably should just send him the link directly at this point.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens by 10:20. He's scheduled for 10:30.
Allegedly, yeah. 10:30.
Yeah. But we got plenty to talk about between now and then. Allegedly. I mean, it's mostly just NXT and then AEW stuff that's going on tonight. Beach Break is tonight. There's some newsworthy stuff coming out of this. They're starting to slowly trickle out some teasers, not necessarily for the show, but at least stuff that's coming down the pipeline for AEW. So, kudos to that. Today's the day to do it. You got a big show, got a big steel cage match main event. You're on your road to the next pay-per-view, and then All In's around the corner. So why not start getting out there and start telling us what's going on? Start teasing new shoe collabs. That sounded snarky. That wasn't actually supposed to be snarky. How you doing there, pal? You still there? You still with me?
Nah.
No? You done?
Yeah.
Should I go get SP3?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's fine. People getting jealous of the shoe collabs, huh? If I was jealous, I would wear shoes. I don't wear shoes at the best of times. Even when I'm up, I don't wear shoes.
We're gonna ask Maclin about basketball. That's what we're gonna do.
Well, I mean, he's what? He's Jersey?
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
You think he's probably gonna tell you he used to like the Nets and then they moved to Brooklyn?
I don't know if Maclin was a basketball fan.
I don't think so either. I don't know what sport Macklin's into.
These are the scoops we're gonna get.
Pretty much.
We're gonna get get his favorite sports ball teams.
I've got literally 2 questions that are actually related to his TNA run at this point.
Well, we can only ask about TNA. Steve Maclin will not answer any questions not related to TNA wrestling. Well, please do not ask anything about any other promotions. Please do not ask anything political. Please do not ask anything religious. Steve Maclin will only answer questions related to TNA wrestling.
Maclin, you were part of an abortion of a storyline. Let's talk about it.
An abortion of a storyline.
You said you're not supposed to talk about anything political. Are you going to ask him about the roofing?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to, I will.
All right, that's fine. I mean, you can. I got ones that are equally.
It's a TNA question, so
you bet it is. I'm still putting the listen. We still run with the Eric Young as a ghost theory on our post shows. And on this show, Eric Young is a ghost. He is not a sentient being. The only people who can see him are TNA fans and Steve Maclin.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess for some reason Sinner and Saint, because they're all together in Northern Armory. That's the thing. They're not Sinner and Saint in TNA. They're just Northern Armory. Even as a tag team, they're just the Northern Armory. I wish that was different, but that's just a me thing. It's like being one guy in one company and then being another guy in another company, and That's an old school mentality. That's like a pre-TV mentality. I don't know where that came from.
What episode was the Maclin and Young drug segment?
It was the 17th. It was the same night as Unbreakable.
Oh, that's why nobody saw it.
That's why nobody saw it. Because it ran opposite a live collision, and Bloodsport was, I think, at the same time or just crossing over.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I'll ask him.
Live note taking here on the air for this interview. Listen, y'all heard our process on Monday about this. Trying to fix my hair. Good Lord.
We have a process?
Not really. Sometimes we do. It depends who you're talking to. I mean, yesterday, your interview with Myron Reed, like, you had a couple of questions that came up in your first hour of talk, but like, you had actual questions for the dude.
Nah, we never have questions. It's always just straight up winging it.
That's true. We do have to ask Maclin about his food choices, food choices and food show. We have to follow up on the Braun stuff.
True. Yeah, we should ask Maclin. He serves gabagool for Halloween, so I would like to know what's going on with that.
Was it the 24th? Was it the lead into? Oh, you know what? It was the lead into.
No wonder I can't find this.
Yeah, it was the lead into Rebellion. That's my mistake, because there was 2 weeks where I wasn't there. One, I was in Vegas, and then the next week was I was sick.
Thank you, SP3.
Yes, and it's good that SP3 was here, because yes, he did fill in for me for that show with Cresta, and it was a humdinger of a show. Not talking about the mayor from Paw Patrol.
Is that the mayor's name?
The one of the evil mayor.
They have an evil mayor?
Yeah, from the rival town. I hate this so much. I hate Paw Patrol. I hate Copaganda. I hate Paw Patrol.
Copaganda? What's Copaganda?
Man. Copaganda is trying to make cops look like they're good people, when in reality, well, feel how you will. And that's what it is, because it's Chase.
But Paw Patrol is a kid's show.
Yeah, and they're trying to promote that all of these dogs are good people, and that you should trust Chase because he's a police dog.
Maybe they're trying to promote that.
What, Jeremy? Not all cops? Is that what you're trying to say? Not all cops are bad? Was that what we're doing?
I think I was going for dogs, not necessarily cops.
There are some bad.
You've taken it as cops. Apparently, I was going dogs.
When you gotta watch some of this shit, you gotta just make up the lore for yourself and just fill in the blanks.
Is as like. What's a pit bull is typically labeled like a bad dog. So is like the pit bulls bad on the Paw Patrol? I don't watch Paw Patrol.
There's no. I don't think there's a pit bull. Is there? I don't know what
cowardly
Rocky is. Rocky? No. Rocky's a different one. The yellow dog whose name I can't remember.
The yellow dog.
Yeah, because they're all color coded, right? Somewhere blue, somewhere like there's one Rubble, the construction worker. See, he's a bulldog. Rubble's a bulldog. Thank you, Henry.
Rubble.
Yeah, Rubble.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I don't think there are any pit bulls.
We'll ask Maclin about dogs then.
I mean, he loves to talk about his dogs. He's got wiener dogs. He's always like, show me your wiener, and that's the joke.
I'll get headlines out of Maclin's pets, and we'll go from there.
How are the dogs? How are the wieners? How's your wiener doing?
How?
That's a segue to a sponsor we don't have, so it's perfect.
I want to know what Maclin's wrote in his journal, right?
The journals he was keeping in TNA?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, write that down.
Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling.
Oh. At one point I was going to ask him when he started using the angle slam, and then at one point he answered the question as like, not to me, but to somebody else. I think someone had asked online, and he was like, I've been doing it forever. Y'all just haven't noticed. I'm like, I don't think that's true, but I'm not going to question this.
What if we ask him the same questions Sean asked them and just see if he gives us different answers?
I was so tempted.
See if he just switches up the stories at all.
I was so tempted to play that game.
Like we ask him beat for beat the same questions.
And we tell him the same mail fraud story. So I walked up to my mail carrier and I said, "Is this normal? You get a lot of coupons." Like, well, actually, let me tell you. Oh, I would absolutely love it. Oh my goodness.
He's lucky he didn't fall in this fire when he passed out.
Yeah, he kind of knew to like collapse, not fall straight.
Why would he trust Eric Young with this drink? They clearly had beef, and he just like accepted a drink from him.
Very good question to ask.
I got a lot of questions for Maclin now, just all based on this one segment. We're gonna go frame by frame and break down this segment.
This is like it's like when you did that watch along with Gresham.
Yeah.
Except now we're breaking down this segment with Maclin.
Do you think we'll get we'll probably get copyright struck if we like put it on screen?
If you put on the screen caps, no. If you put on the segment, probably.
Do you have Maclin's opener loaded up? Do you have the ITW opener for Maclin to introduce him?
I should double check that I actually still have it.
Yeah, you should. We got to get that.
It's not here, right?
We got to have the Steve Maclin opener.
I have MTG.
My legit first question is going to be Sup Legend. How's it feel to be you?
Oh, none of that's shocking. Oh, do I not have in the Maclin video? It might be.
Oh, no.
Hold on. All
right.
Hold on. There's a Maclin interview in the Maclins. Yeah, we got it. It's not the updated one with the end part, but whatever.
Oh, lame. I had one job, Joel.
I had no time. I had a sick kid at home. So let me tell you all a little story because you got.
No one wants to hear your sick kid problems.
Well, it's because my kid is sick, but actually the problem was So we're transitioning him to a big boy bed, and we're getting there by you take the front piece off of his crib, so he basically has like a 3-piece bed thing going on, and he's been great. It's been great. The first night though, he's no problem, sleeps through the night, all that stuff, and then at one point in the middle of the night, he just yells out "Mama, Mama," but then he falls back to sleep, and then he wakes up again at 6:30 in the morning, which is pretty normal, and he's like "Mama, Mama." So his mother runs to the room and checks, and he had gotten sick. He had thrown up. So we clean him up, and he hadn't thrown up much. But anyway, we kept him home from school yesterday, and we did the same today. And it always gets in the way. But this kid is like having the best transition time ever, because every time we try to do something new, he like does something like throw up for random reasons. And he's not a kid that throws up. It's just whenever we do a big transition, suddenly just I think he has anxiety, Jeremy, which runs in the family.
Just tell him to stop.
That usually works. That's usually how it goes.
Just like, hey, kid, remember when I hit you with a fridge door?
I don't think he remembers that.
That shit's gonna. Whoa!
I'm sure that was a Men in Black moment for him.
You got to remind them. Remind them that the door is the boss.
Don't let it hit you on the way out.
You will hit him with that.
Ryan mentioning throwing up because he still has a concussion from the fridge door. No, he doesn't. He's had doctor's appointments. It's fine.
Allegedly.
But it was so funny because yesterday the kid was like, "I want," because we were supposed to go to the dentist in the morning because he had a dentist appointment.
Terrible.
And so he's like, "I want to go to the dentist" throughout the afternoon because like we were cooped up inside. It was just very funny. He's like, "I want to go to the dentist." I'm like, "Buddy, nobody wants to go to the dentist. What is this nonsense?" Speaking of nonsense, go ahead, leave a thumbs up on the video if you haven't already. We should probably do that. If you got the pyro, get the pyro. Come on, you can do it. You can. There it is. The pyro's out. Everyone's happy. You can go ahead and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're marching forward. Things are going well. People are upset at SB3 for hating on Pat McAfee.
Did he get comments?
Oh, he's gotten comments. One dude's like, "If you don't like it, just don't watch." I'm like, "All right, sure, whatever." Like that's generic hate comment 101.
Dumbest comment.
It's like, sure, whatever. It's not like we're paid to do this or anything like that. Oh, and also leave a super chat. If you're going to complain, at least pay us for it. So any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. And it also guides the conversation, except for questions for Maclin. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't leave super chat questions from Maclin, or do it before the show or before the interview starts, and then I'll act like we came up with it, and then no one will get in trouble.
Yes, we won't bring it up on the screen. We'll just ask the question covertly.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I hope he shows up. We've built this up at this point.
I'm sure he will. If he doesn't, I'll just send him a message. It'd be funny if he's like, nobody told me, and now I'm in bed, so this is where I'm going to do the interview. I'll be like, wow, change of pace.
Yeah, SP3 has said that he wouldn't watch WWE if like it wasn't part of the gig. So them telling SP3 not to watch, like he wouldn't. I guess we could be like Wrestle Talk and just ban WWE coverage.
Yeah, that'll go over so well. Oh,
that's our show. It's we don't have to talk about WWE on this show.
We don't have to talk about anything on this show. I mean,
we don't talk about anything on this show. That's the thing.
My whole feeling is I want to at least talk about something wrestling related. It doesn't even have to be current day. It's just that I want to keep it to at least some topical conversation, because to be perfectly fair, like the people who tune in and watch us and enjoy us are similar mindset, and like they want to talk about wrestling, but also they don't take it seriously unless something serious comes up and we need to talk about it. But like 9 times out of 10, we just want to kind of BS our way through those 2 hours. And if we have an interview, then it's hilarious. It's just time for us to do our thing and like not take anything seriously. Literally doing interview notes on the air on a Wednesday morning, a half hour before we go live, and the Monday before, completely just tearing up why we're doing this interview. That's what we do. And like, that's the thing. And again, I preface this because not everyone is in this chat all the time, but like people, it's a bit, Henry making the joke, Joel would want to ban AEW so bad. And it's like, I don't, because I do legitimately watch the shows and I do legitimately enjoy some of the stuff that they do. I don't love everything, but like, I just want people to enjoy our brand of nonsense and also understand that like, we're not serious, and it's not that serious.
I'm very serious.
Yeah,
it's all true. Very serious.
Yeah, the Ring of Hallucinations is definitely a serious thing.
Do you think we could get Maclin to sing "Where Is the Love" by the Black Eyed Peas, but he changes the lyric? He changes the lyrics to "Where Is the Blood."
So, how was your first return to TNA interview? Well, we're not getting any more of them, so it went well.
I feel like we can get him to do this.
You know what's actually really funny about this? I didn't go to the Canadian government, but I do know when they're coming back to Canada. So like I'm sitting on that one so that I can get them banned from the country. Oh my gosh. Again, we appreciate the love and we appreciate the message.
No, we don't. Yes. Oh shit.
Oh no. Spent so much time getting ready for this.
Hit the intro, Joel.
All right, let's get right to it.
He's got to give us a thumbs up.
No, he doesn't. He's
all
here
right,
all the time. You want to give us a thumbs up? Tell us that you're okay. Tell us you're here for us.
Yeah, he always flips us off.
Yeah, well,
you're. Oh wait, hold on.
Oh no, he popped up. This is the stuff behind the scenes y'all can't see.
We've accomplished nothing in the first 25 minutes of this show.
Were we supposed to?
All right, I got the first question. You already know what it is.
That's right.
First question. I hope he's getting one of his dogs.
Me too. He's probably just getting a energy shake or something.
Yeah, he's getting a red Solo cup to deal with us.
I can't blame him. He's gonna go rub red all over his face. Yeah. Beyond the first question, was this a bet?
He put a hat on.
Oh, I get it. His hands. Oh, we want to put TNA hat. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Is he now? Is he ready?
Oh, he's getting the title as well.
I gotta do it the right way. That's right. Okay. Now we good?
You gotta flip. There we go. Double bird.
Bubbles. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the TNA International Champion, the inaugural one. Steve Maclin joins us. Good morning.
Good morning. Plasma belt and all.
Sup, legend? How's it feel to be you?
It feels great to be me. I'm in the gym here right now, trying to get media done for the day, and I get to talk to my two best friends. Well, one best friend, the other one, I don't know.
Well, the other one you get to see in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll see.
Macklin's in an echo chamber.
It's my garage, so I apologize for the media. This is just our office is currently under construction with a bunch of different stuff since my parents moved down to Florida. So we have different boxes from my parents' house and so it's just a mess.
That's all right. If you turn down the speakers like 2 notches, that might cut the echo down.
That might do it, huh?
Joel's going to complain about the audio here. He's going to be like, Macklin's frame rates were terrible. His audio is echoing.
Well, it's because I'm in a gym and he's not used to that. So
True.
There's a gym on the third. You know what?
Just because it's there doesn't mean you use it, Joel.
Carrying groceries doesn't count as a workout.
First of all, you get a bubby cart for that, a grandma cart, if you will.
Of course you did.
I live near the grocery store. I don't have a car for that. Why would you do that?
Work smarter, not harder, I guess.
You just did so.
So what do you want to talk about? Jeez, it's your interview.
You're here 2 days with Sean.
Tell me about it. It's called booking. Terrible.
Yeah, we were like, what are we going to talk about with Maclin? Sean's going to ask all the questions that we have. So,
well, what I have coming up that I didn't talk about with Sean is my Tunnel to Towers walk on June 1st. We can talk about that. How about that?
I'd love to. Oh, by the way, you and I talked about that back in February in our interview, but I'd like to talk about it again because it's been more out there. So give us the pitch on it, and of course, more people can get the information that we'll drop.
So obviously you can follow me on social medias at Steve Maclin on Instagram and on X, where I've been posting the link for my wife and I for you if you want to donate to the charity of Tunnel to Towers for us doing the Tower 1 climb of 104 stories. Tunnel to Towers is an organization that helps homeless veterans with smart homes, of those who've been wounded in the community, in combat, and also first responders and police as well. It helps give back to those families who have lost family members, whether it was 9/11 or post 9/11. And it's a very charitable foundation that my wife and I love being a part of. And we get to walk 104 stories on June 1st in honor of 9/11.
How does one prepare for something like that? I mean, obviously there's like a Stairmaster, but are there like buildings that you would go and climb?
I think it's more about mental preparing. And just because I just got done doing an interview and talking about the emotional side of things and growing up in New Jersey and seeing the New York skyline my entire life growing up. And then, of course, being a freshman in high school when 9/11 happened was a day that I kind of knew where my direction in life was going, and that was into the military. Didn't know what branch at that time. I always knew I wanted to be a Marine. I always knew I wanted to be a pro wrestler, and that's what I grew up fighting with my friends with and playing with toy guns, running around. And then here we are as a soon-to-be 38-year-old man. I've done kind of both, and I'm doing both in life. But now trying to give back to that veteran community of that brotherhood and to those families that don't have the loved ones here anymore.
Do you have, so you're doing 104 flights. Do you have a record before that?
No, I don't really. It's the same bench press at my age. I don't even care anymore. I just lift heavy. If I can still do it properly, then that's all that matters. Just because it's you gotta age finally instead of just trying to be that dumb meathead like my shirt says.
I was going to ask about your shirt. I assume this is some type of sponsorship, or is it
just one of those T-shirts. Sorry, no sponsorship needed here. God, that's why I brought my TNA hat out, just because I didn't want to get any heat. You have to have some type of TNA merch for media. So
you got the title. I mean, that's
I
good.
do.
Yeah.
Plasma and all, yes. There's still blood.
Is there still blood on it? You don't wash
still
it?
Cracks and crevices of blood with it, yes. But it's well worth it.
Okay, can we? You know the song "Where Is the Love" by Black Eyed Peas?
Where's the blood?
Yeah, can we sing that?
That should have been my intro video.
Yeah. Oh, we would have got copyright struck on that one.
Probably.
Unless you sang it.
Yeah, well, where is the blood?
People getting cut open.
Yeah, you see, this is
This is what I need to write my rhyme book at the fireside.
So, okay, this is the segment I want to talk about. All my questions pertain to this segment. What were you in this journey?
Listen, for the B Rabbit comments, I was laughing hysterically. I saw some of this, the outtakes on those. But it's funny is like I wanted to try to introduce journaling of how with mental health and PTSD how do I bring that into my story and kind of show people that? And maybe people are thinking I'm B-rabbing the hell out of it, full on 8 Mile. But to me, that's something I've done and I know others do as well. It's like if you can't get it out there verbally, you have to put it on paper so that it's like speaking to someone. And a lot of the times too, like I would have conversations in a book with friends that aren't here or just a loved one that I want to kind of reach to or talk to just to get something off my chest or off my mind. And that's something I thought I can kind of incorporate. And it was Eric Tompkins who originally had the idea of like, hey, what do you do journal in real life? I was like, yeah, actually. And he's like, let's bring this into the story and see how it goes into it. So it was just another way of sprinkling a little bit of me in there and trying to get a little bit more detail into it. And we're working down that path as well too, to elaborate more on it. So we'll get there.
Okay, I'm going to ask a lot of questions about this segment, but before I continue with this, I do just want to praise like the vignettes you have done, not only this one, but even dating back to before you won the TNA international title and talking about your story and your military background and everything. How much is you in these vignettes, basically? Like how I assume you have a lot of input into this, but like walk me through the creative process a little bit with these vignettes.
So the original vignette, I had an idea, and it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, where it was gonna be a lead into a pay-per-view, kind of almost Apocalypse Now. And sorry, I'm just trying to lose my train of thought of backtracking. And I wanted it to just, it was supposed to kick off a pay-per-view when I was still champion, or at least getting to the world title. And I wanted it to just be like a holy shit moment, what just like that cinematic world that just blends right into the show. And that's how my mind kind of works sometimes. I always have like that movie style like mentality with things because that's what draws people in. Those movie trailers that hook you as a fan instantly makes you want to go see it in the theater. And I feel that's something to do as well with a trailer going into a show as a lead-in or even just build up to matches. Where I just like, you have to hook that fan that isn't the casual fan, or how do I get more people to get eyes on, or how do I get asses in seats? And that's something to me to just open it up. And I feel as a house too, some fans show up and they don't know what's going on in the full story. So they have to look to the left and right and ask questions, where if you're shown visually, I can now have the match in front of you where you've never seen me before and you understand what's going on, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then for me to get these visual ideas out there, I wanted to show my side of things where it's very hard verbally for me to explain PTSD. And everybody knows like the ramifications that come with it and the results of obviously traumatic events, but it's just like you have to see certain things where it just resonates with somebody, or certain little ticks or certain moments like driving down the road, or it could be somebody that's been in a car accident previously and gotten T-boned. Like you always have that thought process so you can visualize it, and it's always stuck in your mind as like just a memory or a quick flash. And that's what I wanted to get with trying to incorporate real life of me being who I am as Steve Maclin into taking my real life as Steve Kubrick and bringing real things into that world.
Okay, let's go back to the April 24th vignette here. I want to like put this thing on screen and go frame by frame on it, but I think we'll get copyright struck, so I can't quite do that. How does Eric Young know where to find you?
He's just Eric Young. He followed me. He was a creeper. He's a ghost that just travels through walls and time, like Joel likes to talk about. But no. So Eric and I, it was supposed to be a year-long story we're trying to build up. And I've said this before now. I've said it with Sean the other day, where certain things changed behind the scenes, and we were supposed to win tag titles at one point. Some people got released, and then some people were leaving the company. Some people just things changed. So it changed our entire dynamic and storyline because we wanted to have a good run with it and really building that bond and that brotherhood, but just certain things happened that we had to change things up. We got to the finish we wanted with the dog collar match, which I felt was perfect for what we wanted. Would I've loved a little bit more time on a pay-per-view? Yes. But I also now look at the outcome of it and the response online from people with the amount of blood, and then also just getting more eyes on the TNA Plus app for a TNA Impact episode. That means way more to me now, is getting more eyes on every Thursday night and viewership that way than it is sometimes on a pay-per-view, just because it's a main event. People will always remember it. It's on the TNA Plus app for reruns. You can watch it at any time. And then also you can go onto my Instagram or anybody else's Instagram and see all these posts of me all bloody.
Why did you take the drink?
Well, because it was a shot of whiskey. Who doesn't? I'm a Marine. I'm dumb. I eat crayons.
He doesn't. You know he doesn't like you.
How did I know he was going to drug me? I didn't know I was going to get Cosby'd.
Why would you not think that, though? You're about to face this guy at the pay-per-view. You can't trust him. Is it because he's Canadian? You're like, oh,
that was
Canadian.
But that's the final straw. Why do you think I didn't talk to anybody the day of the pay-per-view? At Rebellion, before I beat him.
I do have to say, you did deadpan very well for that.
Thank you.
You know you were pretty fortunate to like fall away from them. You could have fell into the fire, Steve.
I could have been dead. Could have been a ghost too.
You can't just take red Solo cups from people that you're about to wrestle at a pay-per-view.
Instead of the Hunger Games, it would have been, instead of Girl on Fire, it would have been Maclin on Fire.
At least you've at least learned your lesson, right? Like
yes,
don't take a drink from someone you're about to wrestle or a Canadian.
Exactly, especially Eric Young.
Yeah, especially Eric Young.
So you've got
the tone of the music really set the tone after I fell down.
The music choices was good. I don't know who provided the music there.
But no, it was worth it. I enjoyed our story, and I'm glad we got to culminate it. And again, with the vignettes, I'm looking forward to doing more of those here in the future, which pitches are constantly ongoing for me and my crazy brain here in the gym when I'm working out and losing my mind of just different ideas and watching certain videos of Marvel or comics or just seeing something online. And I'm looking forward to the future.
Actually, I'm glad you brought up music. Your new theme music. That's something that you and I haven't had a chance to talk about on camera about this. So what came about with the change, and did you have a say in your new music?
That's all me. I worked with Loud and Learn. He just did Josh Alexander's before when Josh debuted as a heel, that piece of crap, quitter. When Josh redid his music, I was sitting there, I was like, something was missing on my end as well, just presentation-wise and visual. It's like, I don't want a song that I know everybody's going to sing to, but I want a song that people like have stuck in their head. And when you have Rich Swann behind the scenes singing your song or sending you voice audio clips of him singing it acoustically and playing it acoustically, I think I did something right. And it's like, how do I get my message across with Front Towards Enemy and like Never for the Glory and Always Front Towards the Enemy? And that's just, it's the same old story. It's like, no, nothing's going to change with me. It's always going to be Front Towards Enemy. I don't care what the fight is or who the fight is with. If you're in front of me, that's just kind of, sorry, get out of my way.
I can't believe I never knew it was Loud and Learn because I was so certain, but I'm glad you gave me that.
I felt so bad because I was so nitpicky on the voice. I was trying to go for that like Alice in Chains, like grunge sound. And we were trying so hard to just get Rooster and copyrights to it with TNA. And I know Tompkins was trying to really work on it for me. I was like, well, screw it. Let's do it ourselves. Let's find something new. And that's when I just kind of went about myself and figured it out. And then here I am, like a psychotic human being in my backyard, going through this song, walking through my entrance. Okay, cool. Here's the spotlight moment. Here's where I get my beauty shot. Here's where I get to the corner. And it took me a while to get down because the buildings change all the time. So like I have that 45 to a minute. Between that 45 to 55 second, I have till I get to the post where you see me with when it really kicks in and it's me hitting that beauty shot up in the corner, kind of like that Randy Orton pose.
Do you have any more good like theme remixes that you sing backstage? You've given us Boner City, which is no longer available. You've given us Douche. Is there any other good remixes?
None that I could think of right now. I usually sing when Joe Hendry's like, I usually say I hate Joe Hendry instead of I believe in Joe Hendry. Just because it's funny because everybody's in the back clapping. I'm like, I'm going the other way with it. I hate him.
He's the champion. I mean, he's got a target on his back.
Yeah, I know. Well, me, I'm a champion as well. I have the target on my front because I don't turn my back on anybody.
Fair. Very fair.
So that belt is a very beautiful baby blue. Can you show it up to the camera a second?
It goes well with my eyes, too. It really brings it out.
So I was going to ask, when you saw it, kind of what was your reaction to the title itself?
I was like, sweet, something different. This is a new challenge for me, being an international champion. It's brand new, and you're changing from the digital media championship to this. And it's not saying the digital media championship didn't mean anything, but it kind of lost its way for a little bit where it was meaningful. And then it kind of got pushed to the wayside just because of different creative ideas and the change in regimes and the rebrand and just things happen out of our control. But when Santino came to me and asked me if I wanted this opportunity to become the international champion in a tournament of triple threat matches, I said, hell yes. Give me all of that opportunity. So to wrestle twice on one pay-per-view was a first for me, kind of reliving that Bret Hart King of the Ring style moment as a kid that I loved watching. And then I got to beat Ace Austin and Eddie Edwards, who are two talented professional wrestlers. Ace, I don't think gets enough credit. I think his moment's coming. It's just a matter of time and when. And then Eddie is just a night off anytime you get to work with him. And he's one of those guys that no matter what, if I can work with him, I'm chomping at the bit to get more time and get a story and like really get digging deep with each other and find that good deep story we can tell. And I think that's somewhere down the road. And then beating EY, I don't know, for the 5th time, and then AJ Francis to culminate as the first ever inaugural champion for the TNA International Championship, I thought was a really cool moment to have.
Most importantly, and Jeremy, then I'll get to your question. This is an international title.
Yes.
Will we see it defended internationally?
Well, I'm trying. I know we just announced that AAA, the TNA and WWE, so you never know where I can pop up there. Do I wish I was part of that announcement? Yes, but obviously I need to work a little harder, so that's okay. I take no fault for it. That just means, all right, cool. They have creative plans somewhere else, and now it just means keep making this title mean as much as it can. And obviously I have a defense coming up soon against either Matt Cardona, Mance, Ace Austin, or who's the last opponent in that matchup?
Elijah.
There was one. Who?
Elijah,
thank you. Walking with Elijah. But yes, in that 4-way, it's one of those opponents, so we'll see after this week on TNA Impact.
Just show up, Steve. Like, just show up to AAA. Who's gonna stop you?
Who's paying my flight?
Sometimes you gotta make your own breaks.
That's true, but
I mean, it worked for JBL. He just kept showing up.
that's true.
Ask JBL. Did you guys feel
JBL's just riding horseback from town to town like Sam Elliott? Because he's legit just a Sam Elliott of pro wrestler right now, and I love it.
Did you guys feel any like extra pressure or anything at Unbreakable? Obviously, the triple threat, there was the talk of Joe, AJ, Daniels, and like how much that meant. And like, did you guys feel any of that?
Of course, it's in the back of your mind. I was like, how are we going to live up to this great, memorable triple threat match that everybody talks about when they think of TNA is that match most of the time. So of course the pressure's there, and then also it was the extra pressure of being on after a barbed wire massacre match, which was very hard to do because some of the crowd kind of left because they thought that was the main event, that was the end all be all, because most times that's usually the main event is when you see a plunder match like that, which kind of like with the dog collar match and EY and I, people are like, oh yeah, this was the main event, there's nothing following this. So it was very hard to follow, and it was. I thought we got the crowd in the end, and it was very nice to hear chants of Bulletproof, chants of Maclin, and You Deserve It, and it's much appreciated for me to the fans that have stuck with me and believed in me and throughout this process. But yeah, pressure's always there no matter what it is. I can be in the opener, I could be on the countdown show, I can be the main event. It's just no matter what, the pressure's always there because I want to go out there and do the best job that I can, representing myself as Steve Maclin, but also representing TNA.
I'm gonna ask you this because you talked about it in your interview with Sean. You mentioned that you did that last part of the dog collar match effectively blind. How do you feel throughout that as you're kind of fighting through the blood and you're getting to the end of the match?
Oh, I was perfectly okay with that. It was very hard to see towards the end. Once you see, like, give me, I think it was Judas I gave the backdrop to. Once that kind of happened, like his shirt and everything skimmed my face. So then everything just kind of draped over my eyes. So then, of course, I'm here and waiting for Travis to come on in, and I see him charging me. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll throw one. I didn't know where it was going to land. So we got to where we needed to, and then somehow he's upside down. I caught him and then hit him with a backbreaker, which was nice, which I enjoyed. Just that I came out on top of that moment, but it was very hard to see and very hard to manipulate around. But the entire match, I was very coherent and I was very responsive to the referee asking me every 10 seconds, are you okay? You okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Leave me the fuck alone.
Is there any type of match that you want to do that you haven't done yet?
Steel cage. That was one of my pushing of for us as a storyline for me and EY to finish that. But obviously with lethal lockdown is not going to happen anytime soon that I know of. But that's what I was pushing for a while. But the dog collar match was also another one I've been wanting to do for a while because I grew up big fan of Roddy Piper in my household. My grandmother raised me on it. So him and Greg Valentine was always one that I watched even as I got into wrestling to train. That was one I always would go back and watch just because of Piper's selling and fire and just the moments of it. But it was a lot of fun. And it was like, it was funny. I was like, oh, wow, we got 1, 2, 3 opponents, a referee, and then the chain is its own wrestler as well, because we didn't know how the chain was going to end up at some points. So that was another thing to have to deal with, getting wrapped up. And there's moments in the match, too, you see me trying to untangle myself, or you see EY untangling himself as we're trying to maneuver.
I was going to ask about food shows, but I think we can leave it for now.
Okay.
Unless you have a favorite food show that you've been watching, because there was a reason for this for our audience.
Guys Grocery is my favorite, just because I enjoy watching how they can go into a grocery store and just pick things, especially when they have the stipulations of different items. I love seeing how they can just cook a dinner, especially when it's like the burger episodes. I'm an advocate. If I'm going to eat anything, it's a cheeseburger, and I love a cheeseburger. So sometimes when they're on there, and especially when it's like the judges who end up being the challenge or the competition, I love.
So yeah, I asked because you were a big fan of making chili, and that's more of a winter dish. So
I love making chili too.
Is the cheeseburger like your summer dish then?
I think just any dish. If I could just eat a cheeseburger at all times. We were just out in Cali. I think we had an In-N-Out burger about 3 or 4 times. That's become like up there for me as a burger. And then Culver's is my other one. Culver's is just dominating for me. I like screw Five Guys. Burger Fi is still up on my list, but Culver's has become one of my favorite cheeseburgers.
That was going to be my question: is where are you eating your burgers at? So
Culver's.
Okay.
You get it. So the way I judge a cheeseburger is if the cheeseburger and a milkshake work well together. If they don't, it's not going to be good. And then the bread is always the key component to a cheeseburger. If the bun isn't good, it's not going to be a good burger.
How do you take your burger? I know if it's a fast food place, you don't like quite get the option.
Dress lettuce, tomato, onion, tomato, ketchup, mustard. However,
plain Jane.
Yeah, if I could have a morning after burger at all times with an egg and bacon on it, it's even better.
There we go.
That I love.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we do partner promo punch in the face?
Sure.
You know how to do this game. I'm going to give you 3 names. I'm going to give you 3 of the names that you could potentially be dealing with in the future. 3 of them are part of the 4-way on Thursday on Impact. So let's go. Matt Cardona, Elijah, Ace Austin. Partner promo punch in the face.
Partner, I would say Ace Austin, just because of the loyalty that he has towards Bay, and just he's been sticking to his guns. And I feel he's somebody that's still manipulative enough in the brain where I can kind of meddle with him a little bit. Punch in the face would be Cardona, even though I love him. He's just got a punchable face sometimes.
And you're going to do a promo with Elijah?
Yeah, promo with Elijah. I would love to just sit there and sing. And he and I, if you want to go back to the past of the days of NXT and promo class, he and I have done a bunch of promo classes together where we'd just have some fun with certain things. And we did one with Dusty one time. We were treating it as if we were in a car ride along, and a few songs came on, and I Don't Want to Miss a Thing came on as the last song. And it was the moment of like, Tommy Boy, pretty much. Or was it Tommy Boy or Black Sheep? Was like, you gonna change it? I'm not gonna change it. And then we just started singing along to it, and it was very entertaining. But he's just somebody that it's fun to be on the road with now, and especially at TNA, and seeing him flourish. And just he got the shaft, kind of like a lot of others, or you just didn't expect it sometimes from one company. But he's just such an entertaining person, and he has so much to give to wrestling. All 3 of them have so much to give to wrestling, and have given to wrestling too. So.
Well, I have a partner promo punch in the face real quick. Okay. 3 Canadian jerks. Eric Young, Josh Alexander, and Joel Pearl.
I'd partner with Joel just because I know he's scared with me the whole time. Punch in the face would be Josh.
You got to do all the work, though. You got to do all the work with Joel.
It's just one punch. I could still punch my partner.
Oh, fair. Okay. I appreciate that.
You never gave the rules. Now I'm changing them. Punching Josh in the face, he's a quitter, and I love him. Yeah. And promo would be with EY just because it's you don't know where it's going to go.
Don't take a drink from him. That's all.
Yeah, he could Cosby me again.
TNA Under Siege is Friday, May 23rd. It's going to be in Brampton, Ontario, in the shadows of Toronto, if you will. Will I be there? Who knows? But this man will. Steve Maclin will be there. There's also going to be Impact TV tapings the next night, May 24th. Maclin, put over the STF line one more time as well as your socials.
Follow me at Steve Maclin on Twitter and Instagram, or on X and Instagram, as your TNA International Champion. There's all Steve Maclin bulletproof TNA merchandise out there at tnamerch.com, and also Steve Maclin on Pro Wrestling Tees stores. And also on June 1st, my wife and I are walking with Tunnel to Towers. We're doing the 104-story climb for 9/11 victims. And also first responders and police and their families, to help homeless veterans, and also to give back to the community of veterans and those first responders as well. So very much looking forward to doing that, and very much forward to looking at these two again at some point. I don't know when we're talking again.
Oh, whenever you want. You just pop on.
Is this my show now?
Yeah, I mean, we got an intro for you. Like,
I know.
You're the only person who has his own custom intro. You
It's
and
funny,
Taylor
I come
Swift.
on here and smile, but every part of the intro video is me just angry.
Yeah,
You don't smile on screen on television.
I do sometimes. I get that question asked a lot too. It's like, how come you don't smile? It's like, because when I go out there, it's a fight.
Yeah.
If you're smiling during a fight, something is very off with you.
We'll have Joel update it with just photos of you smiling. I tried to get him to update it with the face you made, the
Brian.
the Bryan Danielson face, but he didn't do it. He was lazy.
That's one word for it. Okay.
We need you. And lazy.
See what I
like
got to
his
deal
little
with.
Old
See what I got to
lady
deal with.
carriage bringing up his groceries instead of using one hand in one trip.
Yeah.
I live up on a high floor in a building. Whatever. It's not important. We're not doing
Excuses.
He just doesn't want it. It's okay.
All these excuses. He runs from the
Doesn't want
grind.
it.
He runs from the grind, Steve.
It's okay.
All right, listen to me not say nice things about Steve Maclin on our post show for TNA Impact every Thursday here on the channel. And you can watch TNA Impact as well on Access TV, Sportsnet 360, and TNA Plus. How about that? Steve Maclin, the international champion of TNA. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Appreciate
Thank you as always. Merch, TNA merch and all.
Look at that.
This is actually a really beautiful hat, by the way. It's at,
It is a
Shop
nice
TNA.
hat.
The trucker one, isn't
TNA
it?
merch,
Yeah.
yep. This is one of my favorite ones now. Got into my trucker phase now.
There
The
we
big
go.
truck, little truck. Not
After
a
I got Cosby'd, I'm into trucking now.
Dan. Yourself off.
Are we
See you
gonna have
guys
to pop
later.
Steve off? Bye, Steve.
Yeah, we're doing it ourselves. Thanks a lot, Steve. We'll see you next
Later,
time.
guys.
Take care. Oh
Do
my
you
god.
think he knows that like he could just the link we send, he can just click it anytime he wants to appear?
I feel like he does, and that's a problem.
Is everything okay? You keep looking off to the side.
My child is trying to break into the office. I
Oh,
might just turn off
kick
my
him.
camera for a moment.
kick him.
I'm still here. I'm just not on camera because I protect my child's. Oh, and he's not wearing pants. So we don't want to have that problem.
Kick the baby.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. Kick the
Anyway.
baby.
We're not going to do that. Don't kick the baby. Folks, I apologize about the echo. That's something that we couldn't really fix or help. Maclin tried, but we're going to do something.
We should have muted him when we asked the questions.
I
is
thought
what
about
it
that.
is, man. Yeah.
The one thing that's kind of a pain about StreamYard is that he then has to unmute himself every time because we can't control the mute. That would have been easier.
Well.
So apologies for that. Maybe we'll see if we can clean it up in post, as they say. But
that's a you thing.
that's a me thing. We'll see what we can do. We'll see. But either way, whatever. It's a fun chat whenever he's around. We love talking with Maclin.
We should use that as leverage to get him back. You should just message him and be like, "Hey, that link you were sent, you can just click that anytime you want if you ever just want to harass us."
I feel like he knows this.
well,
I'll remind him. I'll just send him a reminder. Do you want to host the new ITW weekends? I was about to ask him, be like, you ever thought about becoming a podcaster for 2 hours?
Everyone else does.
Everyone else seems to want to do it. You want to join the party? The really disturbing, upset party? Anyway. Someone saying it just adds to the ambiance. He's in a big cavernous room.
Yeah.
And he was using like speakers. Like he got up at one point to like turn them off or turn them down. And I was like, oh, you're using like proper speakers and a soundboard or like bookshelf speakers. And I was like, all right, well, that's not going to work for anybody. Get a pair of headphones, Mac. What are we doing? Deal with them next time. I'll have Deanna say some unnice things to him about this. That's what we'll do.
What are we talking about now? We gotta talk about wrestling?
We gotta talk about a little bit of wrestling. We gotta talk a little bit about NXT last night.
Nah, I feel like we have to.
I mean, we don't have to do anything, but you know, unless people start sending us super chats changing the topic, we just kind of do the thing. Send Tim to Maclin's house for all the audio stuff. Tim would consider it. Then maybe he wouldn't actually. I don't think Tim like me doesn't really want to go over the border for the next little while. Like 18 to 24 months at least. Maybe 4 years, who knows. Maclin and me weekends on Overbook.
That's actually a good show title. That's actually good.
It's just him. Oh, screw you, Louis. Lou Dort. There you go, Jeremy. You're up.
I appreciate the super chat, Louis. I'm in pre-misery. We had a little bit of a celebration last night. Stayed up too late last night celebrating, and now we're just back to pre-misery. You know, we were able to give little fist pumps a couple times last night, but 0-0 series. We're on to game 6.
The Ottawa Senators are doing nothing. Update, still out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Leafs, however, suck, so that's great.
Yeah, I'll talk about that.
Thea Hale should be wearing an eye patch next week. Tatum Paxley has no friends. She decided to take that out on a grown-ass woman, and I really need that not to be Thea Hale's opening intro thing anymore. I'm a grown-ass woman.
That's what they always do. Like they every single theme song, it's like, here, let's put a catchphrase in front of it.
It's not good.
No.
By the way, shout out to the Ottawa Charge from the Pro Women's Hockey League. They're up 2-1 in their series.
Okay.
So good for them. They had like a 4 OT finish. They lost that game, but they had a 4 OT playoff game the other night, and that was a crazy game to watch. But yeah, I wish they would just change it up. At least I don't even care if it just says Thea Hale or whatever, or Thea Hale. I'll take that over I'm a grown ass woman. It's like,
stop.
Why
stop with the catchphrase themes?
They're not good. Also, that's not even a catchphrase. That's like something she said once, and now every single woman just throws it back in her face. Is like,
well,
it's just like, oh, you're such a grown ass woman, huh? She's like, said it once, don't care anymore.
No, the catchphrases suck.
They really do. Oh man, yeah, she should come out to different TNA themes every week.
That would actually be funny.
It's worked before, so we can do it again. Beer, money. She should come out to the EC3 theme. Easy for me to say. And instead of trouble, it's just her going coffee. Oh man, but yeah, so that's the thing. I do appreciate that Tatum Paxley at least played into the whole, you know, my friends are gone. They got to do it. Like it's something. It's like explaining something that happened in real life. You can't just say like, oh, suddenly Gigi's gone and you don't know why. You at least have to play up the fact that like every time Tatum Paxley has had a partner or someone, they've gone away or turned on her. Where's Wendy Chu, right? She's in Evolve. Haven't seen her in a hot minute on NXT. So they're playing into it.
They are, but like it feels like disingenuous. Like when Corey Graves is talking about like her friends just all dude, they were released or their contracts weren't renewed in the case of Shotzi. Like I get they're trying to do something with it, but from Tatum's side, I thought it was fine. It's when the announcers are trying to like explain it, which that's their job to do, but they go a little too heavy on this is why she's like this. All her friends just left her. She tries to make friends and they just leave. It's like they didn't just leave though. Like they got released, man. Like this was not their choice. So that's the part that is just a little off-putting to me.
This is always the hard part about, wrestling storytelling in this case, right? Someone got released, but they're gone, and you can't just explain it away as if like you can't be like they got fired unless you throw them to the bottom of the lake.
They should. I mean, Tatum Paxley should just go into Ava's office and be like, why did you fire my friends?
Well, that only worked in like 2005 with the love triangle. But other than that, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, from an entertainment standpoint, it's weird. Fusing entertainment and reality, it's hard to kind of put it out there that like, yeah, she was fired mid story, or at least without any sort of bows being wrapped up. Instead, you've got to kind of make the most of a frustrating situation. And this is how they chose to do it. And I agree with you, by the way. Tatum's handling of it is good. But when you start having the announcers who are closer to the office than the talent, if you want to get into like the pro wrestling hierarchy as presented on TV, it does feel a little gross for commentary to just be like, oh yeah, her friends keep leaving, not the quote unquote journalists at the desk, which is what they're supposed to be portrayed as, not being like, oh yeah, so-and-so was fired. Instead, just kind of playing into the role of the character.
Yeah, they gotta sell the story. And the story is obviously they left her. So I get from the announcer perspective why it is like that. Just saying, for me personally, like when I'm watching it, it's just a tad off-putting when they explain it like that. But it's a real no-win situation because it's not like they wanted to release her. Like, it wasn't the announcer's choice to do that. So I get why they have to do it. I'm not saying they're wrong for doing it. And just when I'm watching it and I'm hearing like Corey Graves like trying to explain it, I'm like, this isn't how it is though. So, but look, there's also a very probably big portion of the audience who doesn't know how it is. And so they're just going to accept this storyline reasoning. Be like, oh, so that's what happened. They just left. Okay. So again, I get it. I do understand it.
Yeah. And like Will Chisholm pointed out that like Lyra Valkyria went up to Raw. So that was, and like they did, Lyra came back and Tatum was excited and that, like you can play that up a little bit, but the reality is like her current tag team partner was fired. And this is their first time showing Tatum on TV since then. So you just got to do something. It's weird. It's not great, but kind of is what it is. Cyclops better than Wolverine. Adding Joel and Jeremy. Why do y'all hate grown ass women?
He didn't say grown ass women. He said grown women.
Yeah, that's because super chats don't let you swear.
Oh, okay.
That's why you can't really do that. So
you're barking up the road. You know that like Thea Hale's my goat. So come on.
Also the connotation there is that. Well, there's a weird inference there that we don't. Why don't you like?
Don't make it weird, Joel.
Stop. That's all I can do. I'm good at making it weird. I'm happily married.
Knock it off.
Shit. What's the worst that could happen? Go away, people. Go away. Yeah, she should just go to TNA. That's what what's her face should do. Tatum Paxley.
No,
she can do that. All of her friends will go there. She can go to Evolve and see Wendy Chu.
Sure.
Works for me. The big note coming out of NXT.
What is this?
Did you not watch NXT?
No, I did. I covered it. What are you talking about? Like, I'm just saying, what is this? Is it like
they're going to do? So they did the contract signing for Joe Hendry and Trick Williams. And they both signed their contract. Trick Willie signing it, Trick Willie, and Joe Hendry signing it, Joe, whatever that was supposed to be for a signature. Not all signatures are legible. I get it. I grew up with a mother who actually had very legible handwriting. Anyway, not important. Point is,
just rub it in our face that you grew up with a mother.
Shout out to those. Goodbye. Well played. And then they turned around. Thank you, chat. And then they turned around and they announced that it's going to be Joe Hendry in concert and Trick Williams doing a rap show for the first time ever. And I'm like, first of all, when has Trick ever been presented as any sort of artist? Like any rap, like it just felt.
He does he does that stuff on his own. Like,
yeah, he's released a couple things on his own.
Yeah.
Like, is the idea here that we're gonna be like surprised that Trick is actually good at this?
I think they've shown that on TV. Like they've shown at least clips of the video on TV.
Because he did a diss track for who? For Ethan Page?
For Ethan Page was definitely one of them. He did another one. Pete Dunne, I think, was the other one. And there might have, people saying you a butch. Yeah, Pete Dunne was the other one. There might have been another one, but I distinctly remember Ethan Page and Pete Dunne. I'm pretty sure they've shown those on TV. So it's kind of there that he has a rap background.
It's there, but it's just like they're saying for the first time ever, he's going to do.
Well, it is the first time.
It is.
He's like performing.
It is. Oh, by the way, Troy talking about a father whose signature was impossible to forge. My father's handwriting was impossible to read. If people think my handwriting is bad, my dad had chicken scratch.
I got god awful handwriting. I'm in no position to talk.
Yeah. So Joe Hendry, who famously told me there's a time for concerts and there's a time for serious.
Every feud is a time for concert for sure.
This was the first.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I know you mentioned it on your socials. That Joe Hendry explanation as to why he lost. So for those that didn't see it, I did the interview with Van Vliet, and like, oh, you lost, and Van Vliet gave him too much credit. He's like 5 to 10 minutes. Like, nah, that was like a 4-minute match at best. And Andrew's like, oh, it makes you want to. It's about a story. You know who else lost quickly at WrestleMania? John Cena and Triple H. And it made you want to tune in to see, like, how does the TNA champion bounce back? And it builds to rebellion because could the TNA champion, like, it made me vulnerable. Could I bounce back in this triple threat match? You mentioned, go ahead. You can say what you mentioned.
So first of all, you'll never guess how this clip got on my radar because it wasn't from somebody retweeting it. Someone sent me the clip.
Oh, really? That's
yes. And it's actually very funny who it was.
Bryan Danielson.
Yes. Bryan Danielson was like, can you believe this shit? But I thought about it and I ruminated on it and I was just like, and I watched it and I said to myself, like, but no, at this point, we've all gotten past the Joe worked WrestleMania and got beat. We've all, at least like most of us who have talked about it, like we moved past it. He took a booking, he did it. Randy said, this was his pitch, and it gives Joe an opportunity to have a huge moment in front of a crowd. Blah blah blah. Moment merchants, as SP3 calls I have at WWE, and he's right. Like I get it, but here's where the problem really lies, and where it all kind of falls apart. And I mentioned this in that tweet. They then had Joe show up on NXT on Tuesday. And they did the live show of Fontainebleau. And the shows are almost always live. But anyway, he showed up at Fontainebleau. And in the ring are Trick Williams and Oba Femi. And it looks like they're about to tease Trick versus Oba again. But finally as a one-on-one. But no, Joe gets in everyone's face and they do the Trick stare down. And then he and Oba have a bit of a thing, a friendship, whatever. And he kind of, in passing, kind of says, oh, TNA Rebellion on Sunday, and that's it. There's no reference to the pay-per-view otherwise. And the guy who's the NXT representative in the match at Rebellion, who was on the show, featured at one point in a backstager, had zero interaction with Joe Hendry on a show that was live going into the pay-per-view that was that Sunday, where you have more eyeballs than you do on a TNA show. They did nothing to connect at all. They did nothing. And Joe's out here saying like, oh yeah, I lost my, I'm going to stop doing this. He's saying, he's like
terrible Scottish accent.
It's kind of the best part. The idea here that, he lost the match and now people are like, oh, what does that mean for Rebellion? Everyone's like, it doesn't mean shit for Rebellion. We lost to Randy freaking Orton. Like nobody walked in being like, oh, maybe Joe's going to win. No, everyone was like, nah, Joe's going to lose and he's going to have his moment. People, and the question wasn't even what about Joe? It was all about what about TNA? Nobody cared about the way that Joe Hendry looked. Joe Hendry looked great. He got a payday. He did his shtick in front of, 50, 60,000 people who were all into it. Like, Joe looked great for that.
72,000.
Whatever, who cares? However many Stone Cold Steve Austin told you that night. Was that night 1 or night 2 that match? That was night 2. So there you go. So Stone Cold, whatever, 70,000 then minus the one that he hit. But anyway, the point of all this being, Joe was fine. No one was like, people are, he buried the TNA champion. No, he lost to Randy Orton. It's fine. People were more upset, and rightfully so, that TNA as a company, as a brand, was just kind of cast aside. And there was it really made the partnership feel less than, and we already kind of knew what this was. This talent exchange has always been more NXT heavy than TNA heavy. We get that. But like right now, as I continue to say it week after week on the TNA post show, and even on this show, Joe's got senioritis, and he just happens to be holding the belt. And for those of you who know what senioritis is, you ain't trying that hard because you know where you're going. You've already been accepted to the Ivy League school. So why are you going to try and go above and beyond what you're doing? He knows he's going to WWE, like barring incredible circumstances that have him, taken away from it. And instead, they're just kind of letting him coast with the belt because, again, I get that he's popular. I get that he's over with the crowd. But like from a reviewing the show and getting invested standpoint, he's not doing much to keep us there. And now there's a possibility that Trick's about to win the TNA World Championship and carry it through to Slammiversary. At that point, like I said, you got to give it to Santana and let Trick be a heel, but be a real ass heel, not a NXT is cool heel. And then he goes to TNA, he gets booed relentlessly, which is what will happen, which is fine. A lot of things are just out of whack here. And then I have other people in TNA being like, oh, I think maybe Joe might actually carry it through Slammiversary. And I'm like, why? He's not like, yes, it's him and the Hardys. They're the ones collectively filling the house. Do not misrepresent or misunderstand that. But like, you got to do from a storyline standpoint, you got to do more than whatever this is, because it's awful. It's lazy. And Joe's trying to explain it away for the betterment of his situation.
I think the more he tries to explain and defend it, the worse that it sounds. Like, I honestly think he's better off just being like, Randy Orton wanted to face me. I went out there, I tried my best, and I lost. Now, it happens. He's Randy Orton. He's one of the greatest of all time. I had to, then I had to respond to that. Like, just kayfabe it at that point. Just be like, I had to respond. Instead of trying to attempt and make it seem like, oh, people were interested in how I respond, or put more doubt into my reign, or John Cena lost quickly at WrestleMania. John Cena lost quickly at WrestleMania 15 years into his career, where he'd won main events of WrestleMania. And he lost to The Undertaker in a match where he wasn't sure The Undertaker was going to show up, where John Cena was a fan throughout most of the show. Triple H lost quickly at WrestleMania in his first WrestleMania match to the Ultimate Warrior, and then went into a program with Mark Marrow. They had something for Triple H immediately after to set up. And he lost to the Ultimate Warrior, again, in a return quick match. These are not the same circumstances. They are just not the same circumstances. You are the champion of another company. It's not like Triple H was the champion of NWA. They probably would have beat him quickly in this because they had kind of sort of ties with NWA. NWA made appearances on WWE programming throughout the mid, kind of late-ish 90s. And I don't know who they would have partnered with in whenever John Cena lost to the Undertaker. It's not like they were champions coming into this and then they lost quickly on there. Champions of a promotion you're partners with. This is, for all intents and purposes, this is Karrion Kross as the NXT champion getting called up to Raw and losing in 3 minutes to Jeff Hardy. That's what this is. It didn't make Kross look good. Like, oh, well, everyone loses quickly on Raw. Great. They're not champions of a company that you supposedly are partners with. which is the case with Cross when he got called up. And that wasn't even a company you're partnering with. That's a brand that's part of your brand. Just kayfabe it. Just say, I went out there, I tried my best, Randy Orton beat me, and now I have to go out and respond. And that's what I did. I went to, I took my look in that match, it gave me the RKO, and then I bounced back at Rebellion. I beat Kazarian. I beat Ethan Page. And now we move forward. And hopefully I'll get another crack at Randy down the line. Just kayfabe it. Because the more they try to explain of like why this is a good thing, I defended it. I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world. I understood why they did it this way. But the more they try to explain it, I'm like, no, that's not really how most people view this. Like, it's just not.
You can also, talking about the kayfabe side of things, all he has to do is mention the fact that like Randy Orton is a former multi-time champion, and like just put over the accomplishments of Randy Orton and the fact that he's been in the business much longer than Joe has. Like, it's not hard to put over Randy Orton of all people and be like, yeah, I lost because this dude's a legend, but I went to task because I'm a champion, and that's what champions do. My title wasn't on the line, but I wanted to prove that I could stand next to a guy like Randy, and I did. I got my ass kicked, and another time I won't. There you go. That's all you need to do. And Joe loves to kayfabe everything. So like, really, what are we doing here? So I don't get it. I saw one message from the chat saying, it was Zeno Hour saying, counterpoint, TNA is making money and getting pressed because of Joe Hendry. So like I said earlier, it's not just Joe, it's absolutely the Hardys as well. The Hardys are a huge part, and I'm not the first person to say this. I'm not the last person. Sean has said it. John Alba has said it. There have been multiple people who are TNA supporters, fans, but also cover the company, who have said it. The Hardys are a huge puzzle piece for how over and how popular TNA gets to continue to be. I went and covered, when I was in Vegas, the Chris Bay breakfast. And that was a benefit for Chris Bay, but they were largely touting it as a Q&A with the Hardys. That's what people were really there for. The supporting of Chris Bay and also Chris being there was obviously like a very important thing for TNA and for Chris and for those who support him. But you were there because the Hardys were doing a talk, and they were doing a Q&A, and other people also did things. And it was, it was an event based around the Hardys. Everyone puts over the fact that when the Hardys do a signing, they're there as long as it takes, because that's the way they want to do business. And that's the way that they stay as popular and as like, what's the word I'm trying to think, grounded as they are as guys, as wrestlers. So again, Hendry's a piece of the puzzle, but it's for a different reason than the others. Someone else had mentioned, is Joe the worst booked TNA champion in recent history? That's a hard question to answer, because I think in certain ways, no, I think it is, because listen, you can argue that Alex Shelley, from a presentational standpoint, was not a strong champion. He won it in a shock. He had a bunch of great matches, and that's really what his title reign was. And that's not a knock on Shelley, because he's fantastic as a wrestler, but he's never been a big character guy. But TNA has never been huge on like the big characters to begin with. It's always been about the wrestling in TNA. They've told stories that have culminated in wrestling matches that tell stories. And that's something that I put TNA over for quite frequently. It's that WWE will do moments and stories and then wrestling. AEW will do, like, if you're talking about like the 1, 2, 3 of importance in a story, it'll be for AEW. It's the wrestling, the story, the moment, or whatever you want to pick as those 3. But like the wrestling match is more important to AEW. The storyline talk is more important to WWE. TNA found a way to kind of take the wrestling, make it important, but also fuse the story as something that was equally important. And I think that's still something that they try to do now, but they're doing it with the character more than they're doing it with the wrestler. That's why I kind of say things with Shelley. It's like, he was there. He wrestled Nick Aldis, for Christ's sake, on a Slammiversary. Like that was something that I had to cover. And I was like, why are we doing this? And it was a fine match. Then he had a great Bound for Glory match against Josh Alexander. He had a great, Impact match against Gresham. And then Moose beat him at Hard to Kill. And that was the end of that. People mentioning Nick Nemeth. Nemeth was really important to the rebrand because he was a big name at the time. He got the Trinity contract. When Naomi went back to WWE, they basically took the money and they sent it to Nick Nemeth. And Nemeth was and continues to be a really good representative of TNA. Again, a great wrestler that's slept on, but he's also had 20 years of WWE only experience, but he also has the instincts. So with Nemeth being the champion, I thought it was actually quite good. I think he represented the brand well. The one knock I always had on him and others was that when he took like a Qatar or Australia booking, he would be away for a weekend of tapings, which means he'd lose 4 weeks of TV. And that always annoyed me. But it's kind of the business. You got to go where you're paid. So, yeah, that's why with Nemeth, I'm like, I can give it with Nemeth.
So anyway, Joe Hendry's going to do a concert.
He's going to do another concert. And it is what it is.
They love their concerts. I hope Trick just interrupts him. I hope he smashes Hendry's guitar. And I hope he just has some bars for him. Bars him up.
He's not just bar him up, but also take Joe's theme, strip the vocals, like that dance beat, and just rap over it. Okay. That's the biggest diss you could do. He's taking his song and he's rapping over it, and people are gonna find whatever you say, as long as it resonates with the audience and people remember it, they're gonna be like, oh, this can't be Joe's theme anymore. Just completely destroy it. Let's go. Tear it down. I still don't understand why they're doing another concert. I get it. It's part of the Joe Hendry experience. It's just not great. There's no need for it. Brian Lambert's mentioning the Alex Shelley, Christopher Daniels ROH title win and run. That's a really good point, because Daniels at the time, the big story was he's old, which was like at the time, I think 45 or 46. And it was like, can Daniels win the big one this late in his career? And the answer was, yeah, he can. And then after that, they didn't really know what to do with him as a champion. And Alex Shelley was similar. They had him win it like against all odds in 2022 or 2023. And we were all like, oh shit, because that was the same night that Saban also had the X Division championship. So Motor City had the whole thing. It was fine. It was just, at the time, Scott just wanted to put his eggs in the Motor City basket. He loved those guys. So he let them run the singles division, which was fine. Just, it wasn't as strong as it could have been. I mean, Saban was, because he was the X Division title holder, but you know, it was a thank you to Shelley. It was a gold watch, you know. Whatever. Lab Glass saying, has Joel done a McAfee rant yet? I think what SB3 said was very poignant. I think a lot of ways it was right. I would have given McAfee a couple of weeks off and not have him come out doing the full ass entrance, get up on the table, do the whole Pat McAfee shtick, no selling the whole way down. I thought that was absolutely dog shit. I do. I was like, why is this happening? Especially like going into a match. Going in and like, you got Michael Cole being like, oh, Chad Gable's not happy about this. I'm like, great, Chad Gable should go fight Pat McAfee next. What are we doing? What's the point? That was dumb. I think he was on the right track with what he said.
I have the I'm the main character. I'm Pat McAfee. I've had that shit stuck in my head for 24 hours now.
You know that short got golden dollar sign, by the way?
Did it for what? Oh, probably said fuck too much.
He dropped an F-bomb or two. Yeah. And I was like, I requested the review. I'm like, I feel like this one's not going to get away from us.
That's fine. I mean, we didn't use any, like, I had to like capture SP3's mannerisms and everything in it instead of like using the WWE clip or whatever clip that I typically do. I was like, nah, I gotta you gotta see SP3's reactions to give the full experience of this rant. His remix version is stuck in my head. I just woke up in the middle of the night just singing that shit. It's like, oh, dun dun dun, dun dun dun. I'm the main character. I'm Pat McAfee, and the wife is like, "What are you doing?" This is a conversation we had at 4 a.m. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm Pat McAfee." She's like, I gotta stop you.
So my wife just sent me a message on the air. She said, quote, we're watching Daddy's show and my son loved Jeremy's song. The one just doing that.
Just now? Oh, that's an SP3. I can't. I take no credit for that one.
That's so funny.
Should I let's for those who missed it or those who don't want to go to the show, I'm gonna upload this and we're just gonna play this fucking thing.
Pitch it to Pat. Let's see what he does.
SP3 deserves this. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, I gotta convert it. Oh man, that's lame.
Oh, you gotta convert it. That's silly.
Because you know what I can actually do? Hold on. Video file. Can I do that? Oh, I can't. Okay, here we go. All right, everybody. The SP3 Pat McAfee rant. If you missed it from yesterday's show, if you're too lazy to go to the short, here it is.
He's one of the worst announcers of the modern era. I think I was undercutting him. I apologize, Pat McAfee. You're one of the worst commentators ever. But he comes down to the ring. He's like, hey, guys. I'm the main character. I'm Pat McAfee. If I want to see Pat McAfee be the main character, I would watch his stupid ass show with his dumb ass frat friends making illiterate jokes for fucking 90 minutes. I don't want to see this shit. Get him the fuck off my TV. Where's Wade Barrett? Wait, we need you on Mondays. This dude, oh my God. The shit he did during the Sabu tribute. Why, when Michael Cole has a somber voice talking about the life and times of Sabu, this motherfucker wants to talk about the Trampoline Wrestling Association. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, yo.
All right. It was definitely the F-bombs that did it. So this is the one thing that I kind of need to. When I listened to it and I saw the part about the trampoline wrestling stuff, I don't think Pat was necessarily out of line. I think it was more drawing to the point of like it got him into Sabu and ECW and all that stuff. Like he was trying to make a point that like people manufactured their springboards off of Sabu using their trampolines. Like I don't think that he was speaking out of pocket. I think the other stuff is absolutely 100% correct, but that was the one thing where I was like, you got me 99% of it. That's the only thing. Hello, Val. It's nice to see you.
What's going on, Val? Oh, that rant was so good. I had to cut it, to make it a minute. It was a little bit longer. And I cut out the part where he wished McAfee to lose his job. Like, I don't want to put that fully out there. I've never wished anybody to lose their job. McAfee will be fine. He's making millions off of ESPN. It ain't like he's hard up for money or anything, but oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
Hey, a message to my kid. Maybe don't use those words on don't use those words.
Oh yeah. I didn't even...
he watched it and now I'm getting messages being like, and now he's saying
I didn't even think of like, oh yeah, and Joel's kid is watching this show. Here, let me play this rant with a bunch of F-bombs in it.
We are not minivan friendly. We try to be, but sometimes we just blow it. I'm sorry. Although he's now requested it as a bedtime song, so we got that. Tell SP3 to clean up his language.
No. Absolutely not. I will not hinder SP3.
Fair.
We will not do that.
I will not let my kid cuss. He's 3, for Christ's sake.
Cowardly.
Fair.
Cowardly. You should let him cuss. Who cares?
Yeah, there you go. The anonymous ITW general manager popped in and said, my brother would absolutely emulate Sabu and springboard off the back of the couch and the trampoline. So that's the one thing where I was like, I don't necessarily agree with SP3, but I understand like what he's trying to say. Pat should just stick to his silly ass show. That's all.
Pat McAfee.
Great cover on that. Oh my gosh. So did you hear that HBO Max is coming back?
Yeah, sure. Who cares?
A service I never had in the first place.
I got it. I mean,
I don't have it. I've got Triller. I'm good enough.
Triller, okay. I got it because, like, We don't watch. I mean, we watch AEW on it, but like South Park's on it, Friends is on it, so we watch a lot of that. Aqua Teen's on it.
Yep. But I don't have it. I just got Triller. I'm good enough with that.
Okay.
What else is left? What else was from NXT? Stephanie Becker and Jordan Grace are a tag team.
Vecker. Yes.
Vacker.
Sure. That was good. Good.
That was good. Did you notice that you watched the show? You said. Did you notice that when they did the finish, they went to do the stare down with the title, and they had to cut away very, very suddenly?
It felt like that finish felt like it was early. It was like 3 minutes before the show went off the air. And yeah, they do like, oh, let's kill time in the ring. Let's run down the battleground card. Let's do the backstage attack with Ricky and Ethan. And now let's go back to the stare down. Like it felt like they went home a little bit early and then they just had to like kill time before the close.
So to me, it also looked like someone jumped in the ring, but nobody's confirmed it, because at one point they had Jordan go to get some. She just turns around. She's staring at Stephanie and she turns around, and suddenly like you see a head kind of come into frame, and then they just went right back to Stephanie. So and then they kind of drew no attention to it, and they moved to showing the screens for next week and then running down Battleground. So it felt like both they ended early. Maybe they went to the finish early. For all we know, the beatdown was supposed to be longer for Paige and Ricky.
Yeah,
and
it just
quick.
It just felt weird because the match was over and I looked at the clock and it was like 9:56 and I'm like, all right, you got 4 minutes to kill here. What are we doing for 4 minutes? And that's how they filled it. They had a couple like when the Stacks video played.
Oh my god, that was poor.
Yeah, so like that played and Tony D'Angelo lost, and then like the commentators are talking as Wesley is celebrating, and then but like the Stacks video is like playing of like come find me at the safe house thing. It's like why are the announcers talking over this? Like it clearly the timing was off on that. It just felt like they had like some timing issues last night.
I'm curious if they had it like they paused the video and let the finish happen and then press play again for the big screens.
And maybe, but then that's when you got to tell the commentators to shut up, or you got to wait to play the video again until the commentators shut up.
Well, it's Booker T. He ain't going to listen to the best of times.
I don't think it was Booker T, though. I think it was
Vic. It was Vic.
Yeah.
He was trying to be like, oh, he did. What was it? Who was it?
Vic was trying to sell the victory for Wesley and talk about Stacks and everything. And the timing just seemed off on a few things.
Yeah.
Last night.
The show was weird. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of weird. The Miles Bourne promo at the top I thought was really good. They haven't really given much to Miles up until this point in terms of in front of the crowd promos, and I think he did really well here. Again, if there's one thing that WWE is good at is tugging at heartstrings a little bit, but they didn't make Miles look less than by pointing out the fact that he has a hearing issue. You know, he basically said, you know, this isn't going to hinder me. This isn't going to stop me. I felt you during the comeback or whatever. It was good. He was, I thought Miles Bourne was really solid, and he has a lot of upside and a lot of potential, which is something we saw in Level Up if you saw him way back when he started off. So, it's good. I don't think this is the main event by any means, but I certainly think, it's either Vacker and Jordan, or for some reason they'll do the trick match last because they want to do a shock title finish.
Nope, it's Vacker and Jordan.
Given the fact that they've been main eventing the last few weeks, I agree with you. The only thing is I wouldn't give it to the men's world title. The TNA world title is TNA, so I doubt that they would do that unless they have a big, schmoz finish plan where Trick wins. That's the dead giveaway. But I think it's more likely that they finish with Stephanie and Jordan, because that women's division is stacked. They went out of their way to show you with that finals. It was so hokey. It was
that rule. I love when NXT does those segments of
they all just show. It's almost like they're about to start going.
It was so funny when the people like behind the bar just like popped up out of nowhere. It's like, here's 2 people walking the screen. Here's 2 more people walking the screen. And here's 4 people coming up behind the bar.
It's the heat of the moment.
I absolutely love when they do these segments where they're just like, throw as many people on the screen as we can. It pops me every single time.
Is that South Park moment where they did the song "The Heat of the Moment" and it's well, I forget what episode it is, but you know what it is, where it's Cartman's walking alone, and then all of a sudden the city starts to follow him, and they're singing "Heat of the Moment."
That's where Kenny dies.
Is that the episode?
That's where they're trying to like save Kenny, and they need stem cells, and
Yeah.
Cartman ends up using all the stem cells to build a shaky shack, a shakies. I'm pretty sure it's just called, but
then that's absolutely what I'm thinking. when these characters just start showing up, I'm expecting them to start singing "Heat of the Moment." So
it rules when they do that. How tall is Lash Legend, by the way?
They keep doing this.
She was dwarfing the Undertaker. I was like, fuck.
I'm pretty sure Lash is wearing heels, but it's hilarious how they keep doing this with her. It was her last week. It was her and Izzy Dame dwarfing Jordan Grace, and oh my god, I'm doing it again. The announcer just had a kid. Come on.
I don't think it was Kelly Kincaid. I think we thought it was Kelly.
It was Kelly because I kept trying to call her Quinn McKay, her old worker name. But yeah,
I need Lash to wear those like platform heels that Jordan wore that one week.
Yeah,
that's what I need Lash to wear, just to see how. Like, I need her to just get taller every single week, and no one like no one knows. You just add an inch to the heels every single week and just see how tall you can actually make her before people are like, wait a second, why is she 9 feet tall this week?
Put her on.
She doesn't wrestle at all. She just keeps getting taller. This is what I book in Ring of Hallucinations. Every week, I give someone an extra inch. Take that how you want. And give someone an extra inch. They never wrestle though. They just keep coming out there and they're just taller every single week.
Giant Lash Legend. Yeah, Izzy's another one. Izzy Dame. It is what it is. Again, never, ever let anyone let that be your thing. Rules. It is what it is. Anyway, yeah, it was so funny just watching them do that gathering of the women's division around these 2 LFG contenders, being like, "Yeah, come here, we're gonna beat you." Like, huh?
This show was taped in like February or March, right? That's when they were at MSG.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was March when they wrapped it.
Oh, I guess the spoilers are probably out there then.
I don't think anyone's really paid attention unless they did a dark room finish. I don't know.
No, they had to have a crowd, right? Like they definitely had to have a crowd.
Rather, I don't know what they do week to week on that show. Let SB3 talk about it tomorrow.
Well, I'm saying for the MSG taping, like if they taped this match at MSG, like they weren't going to tape this in front of nobody at MSG. I mean, maybe they were. I don't know, but it feels like they would have a crowd.
Let's check. It's just 3 acronyms: WWE, LFG, MSG. Yep.
So this is what I would do. Ryan. So it says 12-foot Lash Legends versus Microman. I would have somebody who is Lash's height every single week, right? Or whoever I have in Ring of Hallucinations. I would have somebody, they're the same height and they're doing a backstager together. So you see that they're the same height. And then every week I'd give Lash the platform shoes to be taller, and I'd bring someone in who's an inch shorter every single week. So by the end, you would get 12-foot, whoever I'm using, and a Microman like person. Hornswoggle. Well, he ain't doing anything. And then that's the final shot. You get 12-foot Ring of Hallucinations, legendary champion, and Hornswoggle. That's where I would go.
Have they not taped the finals?
Oh, SB3 says the matches were taped in front of the fans, but the results were not. Oh yeah, I guess because technically, like whoever like wins the match might not win the contract because
it doesn't matter. It's the coaches that make the decision about who moves forward.
Yeah.
I got a performance. Tell us who won. That's all I got.
It's fine. That's
fine. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, there we go. I was looking at something. Yeah, so good for them. We'll see. Last legend being 9 feet tall. This woman is massive.
Rules.
Does rule. What else from NXT? Was there anything else from NXT really worth talking about? No. Ricky Saints. I love Ricky Saints walking up to Javon and Ashanti and just being like, "How about you two fight and the winner gets to face me?" I was like, "Good on you, Ricky Saints. Good on you." It's gonna be Javon versus Ricky Saints, except Ethan Page is now involved again.
Yeah, Ethan Page lost. Get this loser back to the line.
What are we gonna do with this guy? What are we gonna do with this Ethan Page? Because like
having him lose, clearly.
Are we waiting for something? Is he going to eventually move up to the main roster where he just loses more?
He should go full Joker
with the thing he does.
He should just go full Joker. He should cut smiles into people. I liked when he did that little gimmick where he like, I lost my smile, but I took Javon Evans' smile and broke his jaw. He should lean more into that, but now he should just go full and start like just scarring people. Like I want the world to smile like I smile, and so he just starts cutting smiles into people.
Why not? Who's is it really a triple threat for the North American title?
It's not a North American title, but yeah, it's a triple threat. It's
Ashanti, Sean. Oh, I forgot Sean Legacy's involved
Sean
with this.
Legacy, yeah.
All right, so sure. I don't know why Ashanti the Adonis is being tossed into this. Are they just going to do a shock win? Ashanti's going to win, and he's going to get Ricky Starks or Ricky Saints.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
Okay.
That should be fine. Yeah, there's nothing else really that happened on NXT. It was a busy show, but it was just a weird show.
Joel says weird for NXT, and then he just buries AEW when it's bad. He's like,
AEW Beach Break is tonight's. Is it Beach
Break? Like, NXT was weird. AEW just awful. Not weird, just awful.
I mean, listen, one of the shows I watch for the full 2 hours. One of the other shows gets an hour of my time. I'll let you guys figure out which one that is.
Pat McAfee.
That one I can get done in 90 minutes if I'm in a good mood. I watched all of Raw live on Monday. That was
Tony D's a terrible mob boss, by the way.
He has been a terrible mob boss. You're right.
He's like, I'm gonna put you up in a safe house. Like, you don't think they don't know where the safe house? Like, he was in your family. He knows where the safe houses are. You wouldn't think to like try a different safe house. You haven't cared at all about Luca Cristiano. He's just been disappearing. Whatever. Ain't part of my family. I don't care.
He's king of the Lucas.
That's true. They didn't care at all about him. He just disappeared. I was like, I gotta face Wes Lee. Shouldn't you be worried about like people missing and people going after your people? Shouldn't you be more worried about that? Awful.
Should have used Bubba's house. No one goes there. Can use that as a safe house. What? Show me I'm wrong, friends. Show me I'm wrong. Louis, if you do this, you're a legend. Bring a giant Joel head to Beach Break.
I feel terrible, but
if you have a sign that says ITW is better than Busted Open, bring it, sit front row, make sure they see it, make sure AEW PR sees it. Really goes over well.
Just go to the hard cam side. And just...
Yes, there is no hard cam in AEW anymore. Will Ospreay has asked for it to be taken away.
Well, that doesn't mean like it happened though.
Every camera is hard if you think about it.
Will Ospreay should open every show by breaking the hard cam. He just comes out and he just smashes that shit.
Talking about Joker eras, Jesus Christ.
Ospreay, this hard cam, bruv.
Ospreay loses the Owen and then immediately gets into his Joker era because he doesn't have a path to All In. That's what he does. So he breaks all the hard cams. And then he leads the New Japan contingent to Forbidden Door in a very confusing Forbidden Door build.
They're just fighting over the hard cam. We got to protect the sanctity of AEW's hard cam.
That's what I would do. Meanwhile, like Josh Alexander and Speedball are just like, hey, at least they have cameras here. Our old place didn't really have those.
Oh, wow. Shots fired.
Is it though? Volub, sorry, we'll try this again. At least they own their cameras. Our last place didn't. Volub says, I feel like in honor of SP3 singing Pat's theme, I should do Vanilla Baby, but it's Vanilla Fumble.
I'm Vanilla Baby.
I'm Vanilla Fumble. I choke you, but I'm just so humble.
All right.
We can go there. All right.
I respect it. I respect it.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Beach break is tonight. It is from the sunny beaches of Chicago, Hoffman Estates, here in Illinois. I'm not here. The other people
here in Illinois. Or in
yes,
Illinois?
I'm actually in Toronto, Illinois.
Yeah.
The Now Arena, the site of the first ever All In 2018. New Superman trailer drops in 15 minutes for those who care. Shall we run down this card?
What's in 15 minutes?
Another Superman trailer.
Oh, who cares?
Wait a minute. I love it.
Is Chris Reeves in that?
No, but Chris Stylander is not on tonight's show. Tony D hires Steve Maclin to take out Stacks. I think
Is Maclin with like the Punisher gear? That actually be pretty sweet.
But it's actually Deanna wearing the mask.
I like that. Actually, I would respect that. Like if he just hired Maclin, Maclin just went straight Punisher on Stacks. That'd be good.
Now, hold on. Tim Beatty saying if AEW doesn't have a fake Pope tonight at Beach Break, they missed a big opportunity. Now, didn't they once have a fake Jesus?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure they did wrestling Jesus at AEW shows. So I would have the real fake Pope tonight.
Maybe.
Ask the real Pope to make an appearance.
They should just see if the real Pope could show up. That'd be good.
Where's Tony's boat at? It's leaving Vatican City right now. It'll be here in time. Oh my goodness. Shall we run down this card?
Sure.
The women's title eliminator, Toni Storm, Sky Blue, Mina Shirakawa, and Azumi, the new New Japan Pro Wrestling open-weight strong women's champion. That's a long name for a title. They're all long. Stop it.
Who's going to win?
I mean, this should be the match that Tony loses, not by being pinned, though. This should be the match that leads to a match at Double or Nothing, right?
Yeah.
Sky Blue? I don't know if Sky Blue and Toni Storm is going to light the world on fire for this particular pay-per-view. Toni Storm and Azumi has at least the history of like, if Mercedes wins the Owen and Tony's facing Azumi, then like you can draw from at least the dual history of Mercedes and Azumi and Mercedes and Toni Storm gonna have a match at All In. Like there's some buy-in there. So maybe that's what I would try.
I mean, Mina's gonna win.
Yeah, all right. People are mentioning Tekla. I don't know if that's immediate. I don't know if that debut's immediate. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I feel like they might wait on that for a few more weeks. They've only done 1 week of build or 1 week of teasing with that. I don't know. We'll see. You think it's going to be Mina, especially now that she's officially part of the AEW team? You're going to stick with Mina?
Yes.
Okay. Hurt Syndicate. They answer MJF. Is this the debut of MJF as the new member of Hurt Syndicate, or is Cedric Alexander, Prime Alexander, going to show up and basically make MJF look like a bitch?
I can see Cedric coming out here. I think that's a possibility.
I think it would be very funny if Prime Alexander shows up, MJF beats him down.
What is Prime Alexander?
He's going under Prime, Pryme.
God, I hope that's not true.
I mean, it's been a thing he's posted.
He's still Cedric. He can still use Cedric, can't he?
I don't know about that.
What do you mean?
What's his
What, Prime Alexander?
Hold on.
I mean, I see he uses like the hashtag.
Yeah, man.
No, he still uses Cedric. He's still billed as Cedric.
He's at Cedric Alexander, but he's calling himself Prime with a Y.
Okay, but on the graphics, they all still say Cedric Alexander.
For now. Who knows what his AEW World or what AEW World name would be, or AEW, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say.
Prime Alexander sucks.
Anyway, maybe it's Cedric Alexander comes out, MJF beats him to a pulp, and that's what gets the match between Bobby and MJF.
They can't do Prime Alexander. Too many people are gonna be like, they're gonna associate it with that dumb drink. They can't do that.
But it's a Y, Jeremy.
I understand it's a Y, but it's dumb.
Did you see the video, the TikTok of Randy drinking Prime at Backlash?
Yeah.
Like they showed him, but someone had another view where he's like, "Oh, this stuff tastes like shit."
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting him to do on camera, but I'm like, they're a sponsor, probably not. But I wasn't surprised. He can get away with it. Be like, Logan's a heel.
Yeah. Just be Cedric. Don't be Prime Alexander.
Prime Cedric Alexander. Then okay. How do you play this out? Because not clearly, but it really does feel like we're getting to Bobby versus MJF at Double or Nothing.
Maybe.
Or do you just kind of laugh it off and MJF kind of walks out into the sun? Like, how do you make it work? If Cedric comes out, it feels like they laugh at MJF and MJF eventually beats up Bobby Lashley from behind and they get to a match.
Who are you cheering for?
That's been the big problem of this story. And that's one thing. It's like everybody tries to be cool here.
I'd have the Hurt Syndicate break MJF's thumbs.
Wow.
That's what I would do. Do a good old fashioned thumb breaking.
They're called the Hurt Syndicate, not the Hurt Family.
I don't get it.
They broke my thumbs. That's a mob thing to do.
Oh. Well, I mean, they're kind of like mob-ish, so I'd have them break.
They wear suits?
I'd have them break the MJF's thumbs. That's what I would do.
That's fair. Just as a Hurt Syndicate are supposed to be bad guys, but it feels like they were trying to turn them babyface through this, or at least like if MJF had joined them, it would have kept them as tweeners until MJF went too far, and then Hurt Syndicate would either jump him out, or basically there was a way to make it so that you would eventually cheer for Hurt Syndicate and boo MJF. But because Hurt Syndicate has been presented so weirdly, and because there is a possibility that you have someone else join them tonight, which is a heel move to make fun of MJF, and then MJF is going to have to get his heat back. Like, you can use, again, if MJF comes back with like 3 other people to beat down, or 2 other people to beat down Hurt Syndicate, then like you could make Hurt Syndicate the baby faces while MJF remains the heel with his new team being Top Flight, because he paid them off to beat him up. And no, I don't know.
Top Flight is his.
Well,
let's say MJF like gets a thumbs
private
up from
party.
Everybody. Let's say MJF gets a thumbs up from everybody, and then he's like, I didn't want to be in your dweeb group anyway. Like, you hurt people. Like, I murder people. And then his new group, whoever it is, I don't know, not Private Party, not
the Murder Hawk, because
Top Flight. They've got some heat on Gates of Agony, but like they just lost Hurt Syndicate, so I don't know who it's gonna be. That's the thing. But he gets his new group comes out and they beat down Hurt Syndicate. That's a way. That's how you establish MJF and his group as heels and Hurt Syndicate as baby faces.
I guess I just don't know who those people are that team up with MJF, like you said.
Well, that's for them. They gotta decide. Like, I think Gates of Agony could kind of work in that spot. I know they just lost to Hurt Syndicate, but at least MVP tried to put them over. And we beat them, but you're gonna hear a lot more from them. The other teams, he's just like, we beat them and they're just gone. The Guns lost and then disappeared. And they come back. Oh, Good Brothers. That would be hilarious.
I would do that. No, it's not gonna be Hammerstone and Holiday. We've been down that road too many times.
That'd be like something, though. I don't think it's gonna be them either. But
it would
like
be a story.
Yeah, that'd be something if it was them. Hey, look, if this is how you want to get MJF established as the heel and Hurt Syndicate established as the babyface, this is the best way to do it. I just don't know if that's their end game. I don't know what their end game is.
Should be the Righteous.
Well, it's not going to be them. Righteous are, I think they're fine, but they ain't the heaters MJF needs for this.
It's going to be Giovanni Vinci. I don't know, but again, it's an interesting story. But like you said, who do you cheer for and who do you boo when this is all said and done? Because if this is all in service of beating down MJF, well, that's a heel move by Hurt Syndicate on what MJF would be considered a good guy because he got beat down. So like they're gonna have to find a way to make this work in a way that doesn't seem like Hurt Syndicate are just the good guy, cool bad guy esque presentation. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, it's interesting but strange. Zach Gowen and Ricochet, a match that nobody had on their bingo cards in 2025, but absolutely has potential. Zach Gowen coming back was just the strangest, most amazing thing you could do, and I'm looking forward to this match because Ricochet's a little troll. He's a great wrestler. Zach Gowen, all he's got to do is go out there and do the gimmick, and he'll be great. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be silly. I think it's going to be fun. This is a match that should be for the world title.
Ricochet is going to do so well and like getting heat on this. It's going to rule. I'm looking forward to this match.
Yeah, I think Ryan's got the point. This is a total Ring of Hallucinations booked match.
I would totally book this match. Yes.
Yeah.
I'd get Zach Gowen as much as I could.
Loser loses a leg. It's hallucinations, Jeremy. Everyone's already high. What? Can't do it?
No.
Will Ospreay and Adam Page, Hangman, take on Konosuke Takeshita and Josh Alexander. That's an interesting team up. That's something we're doing. Got to get to Double or Nothing. Got to do it somehow. And you and I talked about this last week when we were previewing Dynamite. We're like, who's gonna step to Will Ospreay? Who's gonna step to Adam Page? Blah blah blah. And then someone in the chat had mentioned Don Callis family, and that was it. We kind of figured it out from there. It was going to be this type of tag team match. So here it is. It's happening. It'll be interesting.
It'll be a good match. Will Ospreay should still break the hard can before the match.
Every match.
Yeah.
And then finally, the steel cage match for the AEW World Title. Jon Moxley defends against Mimosa Joe. It certainly feels like this is a Young Bucks raise the cage, and that's how the anarchy in the arena gets.
Don't do it. Don't do any type of interference in your cage matches.
You're absolutely going to do it.
Have more respect for the gimmick than that.
Nah.
I don't think they will. I think Moxley is just going to he's going to kind of win. Maybe. Somebody will interfere. The Young Bucks will probably do something. Like they gotta tie into Death Rider's meeting with the Young Bucks last week. So
that's what it is. They're gonna help Moxley retain.
Yeah. You're probably right. I don't want them to do it. Like
if this match, I think it becomes less of an issue for some if this match doesn't close the show. But also, if this is
the show,
that's the thing. If it's in service of getting to Anarchy in the Arena and it's the world title, it should be the last match because you can't really put this Ospreay Hangman tag match as the last match either. Unless this is the first match because they think they're going to get the big lead in and all that. There's no other reason.
No, the lead in's Big Bang Theory. It's their usual lead in.
Yeah, but then what match opens up the show from there?
Probably Ospreay and Hangman.
Okay, that's fine. And yeah, like I said, main event should be the cage match. It is a big match that they've been promoting for weeks. But again, if they're going to schmaz finish, if it's in service of Anarchy in the Arena and they announce it on the broadcast, then like, okay, sure. Like they do the schmaz finish and then Joe takes the microphone and says, you, Anarchy in the Arena. And that's how they get to it. That's fine. I really don't want schmaz finish and then Tony Schiavone being like, Tony Khan has told me the main event for is Anarchy in the Arena. I don't want that. I want the wrestlers to announce the intent to hurt, and therefore Anarchy in the Arena is the match that they lay out as the match that should be at the show. I don't want the announcers to announce it for us.
Okay, well, what if we have Moxley wins? He uses some nefarious means with helps of the Young Bucks. The cage opens up, and the Bucks jump in, Death Riders jump in. Here comes Shibata and whoever else, Swerve and Omega and all these people come out to make the save. And then Bobby Lashley comes out and he announces that it is Anarchy in the Arena. He makes the announcement.
It should be MVP coming out, just like Regal does War Games. Should be
they all give the thumbs up, and Lashley's like, do you want to see Anarchy in the Arena? And all of them give the thumbs up. He's like, that's what it'll be, Anarchy in the Arena. I'm like, they're not in it. It's, you know, the Elite Riders against Swerve's Angels. I don't know. One winged angel. Hey, is Kenny Omega one winged angel?
I get it. Just not great.
I agree.
They're doing a tribute
Swerve's
to
Ops.
Yeah, and they're also doing a tribute to Steve Mongo McMichael, and Ric Flair has said he will appear.
That's not true at all. That's on Collision.
That's on Collision? Well, Ric Flair said he's going to be on part of that, so there you go.
Okay.
Anyway,
they're taping Collision tonight, so
see, I was right. They're not airing it at the same time. So if you're in the arena,
partially
right. going to Grand Slam, it's the same thing. Is this match happening at Collision or is this happening Grand Slam Dynamite? It's all the same.
It's part of Collision though. It's not part of Dynamite. I don't want to mislead people that think they might see Ric Flair tonight.
I don't think you'll be misleading this audience.
Well, I'm saying they might tune out. Like, fuck, Ric Flair's gonna appear. So
perfect. And I've done my job, Jeremy. We're back tomorrow, Jeremy and SP3, unless Jeremy gets sick or something.
I feel better as the show went on. I'm fine.
Good. I'm glad.
Okay,
I need to get out of here because my child is looking for me. Anything you want to plug?
No, I don't ever plug anything.
Perfect. 10 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern Time. Jeremy SP3. Talk about Dynamite and who knows what else. No hump today over on the main channel, so good luck with that.
Cowardly.
Listen to our show again and then leave it a thumbs up again. And then maybe drop it super thanks instead of giving Sean and Jimmy money. You can give it to us.
Running from the grind, clearly.
That ain't my problem. For Jeremy Lambert, you know who I am. Ladies and gentlemen, please be on the binary. Not at all. We'll see you in the next one.